Good day, it is Stephen Davis here. In this video I want to show you how to assemble the Titan 250 kettle braai that I bought at Makro, also massmart. The reason why I bought it instead of the Weber is that it had a lot of bells and whistles, much more than the Weber. It was much more also expensive, and it seems like a durable thing. It's a product after all of massmart. The guy told me they do not have any returns. In this video I want to show you how to assemble it. This is more complementary with the manual that comes with it. There comes a manual with it, and this video is not intending to replace that manual, but just to complement it and show you a little bit more. I unpacked everything and put it in the order and the steps that is recommended and that I will follow. The first step is to assemble the lid. All the screws that came with it, as well as the small other things that were in a plastic, I threw out in this container. The reason why I always use a container is in case one of these screws get lost or nuts. It's a problem, so everything is now contained. This is step one, where the air regulator and the thermostat and the one handle comes, followed by step two, where you assemble then the grill and also the leg elements, positioned for the legs. This is then step three, where you assemble the hinge for the grill as well as the handles. Here are the things for step four. The wheels and also the bottom grid and the stands. I did not put the wheel caps here because it seems to me like the wheel caps, if you install it, is permanent, and during the whole process I will not install everything and tighten the nuts so much. I will just tighten it so that it can easily be dismantled in case I have a problem. That's always how I use it. This is then step 5, where you assemble the S catcher. There is not really a step 6, because in step 6 you merely connect the top and the bottom lids. You get then to step 7. Here are the things for step 7, where you then connect the warm rack as well as the ashtray and air regulator. Then step 8, according to the manual, are then the grills that you install. So everything is set up according to the steps that I must follow. And then finally, even though the manual doesn't say it, I put here, finally I will, if everything is correct, warm, I will then tighten all the nuts and the screws, give them a final touch, and then assemble and attach the wheel caps. What you need is a flat screwdriver. You need a big flat one as well as maybe a small flat one, and then you can also, if you want to, maybe have a star screwdriver, and then a number 8, 10 and 13. We'll now start assembly it and see what happens. You assemble the top handle with the wing nuts, taking into mind that the name must show down, because it won't be neat if it will just look a little bit ugly if the name is upside down. So you use the wing nuts for this. The thermometer has 2 extensions, and it's simply slide here through the slots. So when you slide it through those slots to insert it, just also remember to turn it at a nice angle so that it shows when it's upright correctly. It's no use a thing is like this. You can still read it, but it just looks not aesthetically good, and why must you bend your head if you can see it clearly from this way? When you align this thermometer so you can see, just keep it steady with your hands. Turn it around then. Turn it around. You do not need a special tool to slide this over, but just see that here is the slot, and then just let it just slide over those extensions on the side, one side. Then you must slide over the other one. It simply clips in. Make sure that it slides over it. It's no use clips in there. It clips in underneath this. It clips in underneath the small extension on the other side, and this. And in this way, the thermometer. In this way, the thermometer is nice and tightly, and it also sits at the right angle. The lid vent can't go in this way. It must. There's only one way it can go in to sit snugly. You must also remember, and you can see here's a small extension here. My finger here's a small extension, and this extension goes then in. You will see all these holes and slots here. Here's one that has specific different, that's quite different from the others, and it goes in then there, the slot in there, and then it slides around nicely. But when you tighten this air vent, don't tighten it too much. Hand tighten is alright. In this case, hand tighten is alright, because it must still slide close and open, and the fact that those extensions means that it can't go beyond a certain touch thing. The lid hinge, remember this side must go point to the open lid. Open side of the lid is just one side, one place where it can fit snug nicely in there, but this side must point upwards. And whenever you insert the screws and the nuts, you put this from the side in. The reason is it looks much tidy, much better, and this is also the way it is being prescribed. Just take care then. These types of screws you can then also tighten, because it's not a big problem. It's highly unlikely if you will that you will need to take it apart. So these things you can hand tighten very well. Rather just tighten these screws from the outside, because it won't make scratches. Whilst if you turn it from the inside, it can damage the paint work. It doesn't seem like there's a front or a back part, although it's not necessarily flat, and because the surface is slightly curved. But let us see what happens. I'm not going to tighten it too much, just in case there's a problem. The same principle applies here. Put the screws on the inside, and the nuts you have then on the outside. But in this case, I won't tighten it too much for this moment in time. When you insert the bottom lid, there's no really up and down. Same thing applies. It looks the same upside down. So therefore, just to have a nice consistent look, insert it so that it points downwards. The text point downwards. When you touch the hinge to the grill, just remember it can't go on both sides. You must, so you don't just put it up. Remember that this top part must be over this the edge of the inside of the grill. So because you have to later on just attach the top part of the top lid. So this section must show over this. Okay, when you tighten it. When you tighten the hinge, attach the hinge, first just touch these screws. Don't tighten it, just touch it, and then you can crosswise pull the section closer, tighten it crosswise, and in that way pull it closer. You must just remember, you orientate yourself. This is the side, don't use this is the back. The front is here where the handle is, and then you just turn this, and the front legs are the supporting legs, there's no wheels, and then you just remove this long screw and you put it in. I suggest that you do not tighten the screw too much, too tight, because you may need to adjust it slowly. You can see here these sides, it will have to fit, and you will have to. You then adjust the back legs. The wheels will come onto these back legs. You can see here, I did not attach these front legs too tight because I first want to insert the lower grid or carry here, and then I can adjust it and tighten it. You can put any one of these in. First, it doesn't matter. You always also put in these back legs. Just don't need to tighten it at first, just put it in loosely. There's two sides. One side is straight, the other one is at an angle. This angle must be point downwards, and this angle side come to the front. The reason is, if it's the angle at the back, the wheels will stand at an angle, so the wheels must be straight, and this comes in at the back through these holes, and therefore the things must be loose, as you can see. You tighten it now. If it's loose, it helps with the fact that you can put in the grid. Now the grid is in, and we first tighten the back wheels, then slightly tighten the front. I have one side that's out and the other side that's in, small hollow. So the side that must be out must come facing towards the grid, the inside. This is the inside for the grid. You do the same on the other side, and you will see then this nut comes in nicely here in this side. So the inside way is hollow. So insert it and then touch these washers. Everything is still loose because you will have to attach things here. So when you attach the ash base, just see to it the outside, this hollow part must point upwards outside, and these cut off parts where the ash container must slide in must point to the side, and you just put it there, and there you go. These screws also point down. If you came this far, you can now start tightening everything up. Take your 13 spanner and then just tighten the lock nut. You can tighten now both lock nuts. Be too tight, remember there must still be some play so that the wheels can turn freely. You touch now the top lid to the bottom lid. Just align it. The bottom lid, the part of the hinges from the bottom lid come inside. Comes on the inside, both come inside. On the inside, there you go, and then you just attach it here. I like to slide it in this way so that I can operate it from the front. Otherwise, if you slide it from the other side, this regulator is at the back. So I like to slide it here from the front, the left hand side. There's it in. Take then the warming rack. This part that moves must be at the bottom, and you simply slide it into the slots there on the side, on the top lid. Then you come back to the bottom. Here's on the side. You just press it in. It will slide in, and just see to that it fits nicely. Push it through. That's it. It's nice. Test if it works. There it is. Then you just insert the various grids. This is for the charcoal at the bottom. Don't forget the wheel caps. We deliberately left it. This Weber grill to hooker. It fits in nicely there. It works. And I also bought this premium cover. That's for the Weber. It's 57 centimeter, and you can see it fits nicely over this and cover this because it's going to stand unfortunately here on the stoop, and I also want to protect any investment, and maybe it will last longer. So even if here is a basket and this tool holder is here, it does not pose a problem. Thank you very much for watching this video. We love constructive comments and criticism. Please like, share and subscribe.